right inside of your babushka.
Let's start this segment.
Segamonte. Okay, so again, we're obviously going through using all the these trash dupers loot for some kind of good use, right? I mean, it's all up and down the shore, but this is 102. We were talking about 104 places to build in 104 after RazorTube and I did enough 104 on the PC, and knowing that server hopping, anti-server hopping is coming, and base building is going to mean something because of that anti-server hopping, and also because the base building is been fixed, or a lot of the glitches around base building have been fixed, which is very exciting. Um, and the way anti-server hopping works, where people get put inland that are geared, we started to look at things very differently. We did a few builds on 104, so we thought we'd come in here and try to find some base locations, show people different ways to use these buildings, to use these different locations for us to do building, and help you guys out if you're doing solo, duo, or like a larger team. So please excuse all this trash duper loot all over the place, but apparently they're not stopping because we found more in the street. But again, this is 102. We are waiting for the 104 update on the PlayStation and Xbox. When this comes out as a video later, because I do record, so does Razor while we stream, this will most likely be a video. So hopefully we're all watching this later and we're playing 104 on the console and we're like, cool, show me the location. And we're not all sitting here going, where's it going to drop? But anyway, so we're in Cherno. I like to cut up Cherno into two sections because I do not speak Russian. On my map, Cherno is F1, E1, and E2. It's also the same map that we have. It's a static map that we have in our Discord as well. I would highly suggest using an interactive map, but we use this for like more general placement. But anyway, so we cut up Cherno into two segments, Cherno City and Cherno Industrial. I have a zoomed in portion. Again, this came from iSurvive. There's a couple different places you can get your third-party map or interactive map. This one happens to be iSurvive. So if you're looking at Cherno City, if you're looking at the lower half of the map, it's that gray area is Cherno City, and off to the right, you can see a bunch of like maroon crates lining up and down what looks to be like a sidewalk there. On the right-hand side of the image, that's Cherno Industrial. You can get lots of things there, building materials, nails, car parts. Also, please note all the orange circles. Those are potential spawns for vehicles. Another reason why being in Cherno City is very choice.
Important.
And yeah, oh, it's so good. Yeah, because you just go up and down the street and just grab stuff. But also, notice the darker red squares, the little pictures of guns. There are a few military spots you can hit down here. And more importantly, if you look at some of the player spawns, which are more aqua with the silhouette of a character, that's where fresh spawns only can pop in, not geared players. So the geared players go inland at least one block. If I bring back this other map, you can see what I'm talking about. So let's say we're in F1. Somebody could potentially spawn in with gear, but they would be in F3, almost one entire block in, and that's a far distance. So basically, people that will be in Cherno City will most likely be poor, and building up here is probably a great idea initially, so you can get started. So that's why we're walking around showing all these various locations. And Cherno City is pretty hot, dude, I'm not gonna lie. So we're trying to find these little spots where we can block off on the cheap, as planks will be hard to come by, or hard to carry, more or less. You can find them, but they will be more difficult to carry them in bulk. So we decided to walk around and find some juicy spots. This is one of them. I'm hoping that we can place everything as planned in 104, but again, 104's placement is a bit more lenient than it is in 102, which we're currently in version 102, so hopefully we can at least do some kind of makeshift placement here so you guys can understand what we're trying to do. Yeah, so this back section, not unlike our first build, the first one's a bit cheaper as far as resources, but this building here you can rope off pretty quickly, especially with a lockpick. And if you don't have a lockpick, in a pinch you could throw a gate out here or a wall and then just build it up from there. But this one basically needs your basic materials, your nails, your, what is it, duct tape, the planks, and the hatchet, because it's a multi-roll. Lots of nails, mostly. Well, and I
And
guess
if you want to
bugs.
coordinate with your teammates better too. That map that Jade always brings up with you guys, that you can see on his overlay, is basically a map. It's from I Survive. If you're not familiar with it, get familiar with it. Make sure all your friends get it that you play with, and you can actually like pin points on the map that your friends can see. So you have like an instance on the map where you can just update your location and then basically look where the loot is, loot it, create like loot routes with them and whatnot, and then come to a base location like this with all the loot and coordinate a little bit easier.
It's
I'm gonna
nice.
keep, I'll let you build stuff. I'm gonna keep my gun out because I really don't trust that tent being there.
Yeah, me too. Somebody was
So,
here, you know.
you, I'll chime in, but I'm keeping my
Okay.
gun out.
Okay. And you might be our light guy if the sun goes down. We're trying to get this before that sun totally drops. We've been
Mm-hmm.
accumulating this stuff up and down the shoreline because dupers are just running wild here, so thought we would do something useful with it before the wipe, which is great, and we are waiting for it. Oh my goodness, are we waiting? I mean, my chat says, all I care about is them adding MVGs. That is coming in 104. Confirmed,
Oh
and
yeah,
they are amazing.
they are absolutely amazing. I actually did a video on them, just walking around with MVGs, and there's two ways you can use them. You can use them with attaching them to your helmet with a strap, or you can actually hold them in your hand like binoculars if you don't have that strap or the helmet to clip the strap to.
So a lot like the first build that RazorTube and I both did. Jade Monkey! We did a cheaper version of this inland, and again, this will most likely be a video at some point in the very near future, especially if this update comes out quickly. That one's cheaper, but this one's going to cost a few more fences, but you will need, to make this effective, you'll need a lockpick. But looting a lot of the
Mhm.
industrial area in Cherno should get you a lockpick soon enough.
Yeah. Because let's face it, inside this little area like this, when you're trying to rope off like a broken wall and you got a few doors here and there on each side, you want to lockpick any spot that people can really walk right into your little base. And now a lot like the PD video that I'll be releasing soon, that we went over in one of our streams recently. This is another good area that you have a lot of good high points, like your balconies and windows to look through in order to see those pesky raiders coming in, you know what I mean?
And people can't just pop in behind you. That's so always worth
Mhm.
noting because we're so used to doing that, or like having people do that to us, that it's hard to get out of that mindset initially. Like, oh, I always have to wait for some dude to come in and take our stuff, or they see the base, so now they're just gonna
Mhm.
pop up behind us, that kind of thing. That's no longer a thing. The only way that could ever happen is if somehow they were in the building, signed out, didn't know you built there, and then just gave you the old Uno dos tres by a surprise,
Yeah.
which is a lot less
Yeah.
likely, right? So,
And I mean, let's face it, I mean, since we played 104 on the PC now, and with all that server hopping stuff, and obviously we have videos on that, go check them out. Just by the looks of it, it's gonna be so hard for those geared guys to even get close to you. If you build in locations like this, kind of where the freshies spawn and loot, you're not gonna have that much of an issue when it comes to geared people, because it's like have fun running from inland to coast, you know?
yeah, and you're gonna have
So,
nothing, so good luck with that.
mhm.
Alright, so this isn't quite where I wanted it, but we'll make a V here. This is a bit pricier, but I mean, this is definitely a good start. You could do the solo for sure. You could definitely do this with a two-man. But again, and we've said this numerous times, but it's always worth repeating. You will always want to start small, then get big, because it's super hard to find these materials. You burn through them very quickly, faster than you would think.
Mm-hmm. Because once you start getting these walls and everything around the area you want to lock down, just like Jade Monkey's doing here, it gets pricey over time. And if you're by yourself, especially, you want to try to cut corners, and when you're using like your materials, you don't want to, build out as far as you can go and then come in. You want to try to cut off these types of walls, maybe with one wall or two at the most. That way you can utilize the materials that you have on you, 'Cause let's face it, when you're by yourself and you're looting, you gotta worry about getting clapped. You gotta worry about, people interrupting you building your base. And in a location like this, the only thing you're gonna be worrying about is freshies, but we all know freshies can carry axes, so if they sneak up on you, you're kinda donezo.
Yeah, that's true.
Or a bean can. Think about it, guys. You're building a little base like this. You want to get these walls up as fast as possible. Somebody hits you in the head with spaghettios or something. Done.
You're a dead man, or woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're dead man.
I mean, you guys put so much time into the game. You guys put so much time into the game, like we do. You just want to be able to utilize your time. Get your mats, throw up your stuff, and then worry about like expanding later. Okay, you want me to hold that? I can drop that real fast if it gets real.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm gonna try to lay a few down too, because it's so dark.
There you go.
Nice, thanks. Yeah.
So what we're trying to do right now, we're just trying to rope off this area.
Very similar, but again, lower frame, upper frame, it's on the cheap. Just takes planks and nails, and you want to make sure you're doing the lower portion first. And if you're lucky enough and you've got metal sheets, go ahead and do that. And do the lower portions first until the whole place is filled out, and then go back and do your uppers. The upper walls itself, because it's pricey, bro. I'm gonna fix my hatchet. We didn't beat the sun this time.
No, it's okay though. Sorry, I'm just kind of peeking around the corners, making sure nobody's coming up on us while we're trying to show you guys how we do this base build.
Yeah, as I'm telling you, when this hits, after you get your initial loot, you're like, okay, let's build some. And for a lot of people, it'd be the very first time you've done this, so and that's okay.
And as you can see, Jade here, he's basically put the walls as close as he could to the building. That way we can do rope off this little cement wall we got here.
Somebody said, are you going to have your own private server? Yes, eventually. We'll probably be playing the PvP official. Well, I mean, that's all there is, right? PvP. But
yeah,
we'll be playing official probably for a good 1 or 2 weeks solid, and then we'll be trickling in the private.
Dirt Dog from Mixer says, what you building? We're basically in Cherno City, and we're roping off an area to build a base.
To get started.
So we're just trying to
what's up?
Yep. We're trying to show people in 1.4 what the new meta would be when you're building a base and what you should do to lock it down, because since base building is going to be more beneficial than on this current version that we're on the consoles 1.2.
It's like we're having a party back here with all these colored lights. We're gonna get clapped.
I know, man.
I'm feeling it.
I'm really trying to keep my head on a swivel while you're explaining this, and I'm trying to piggyback off you. Anxious right now.
I think these colored lights are being weird now. So we have too many in one area.
Yeah.
Move this one. Man, I miss being able to throw stuff.
I know. That's a huge key. The Dirt Dog says, yeah, till 1.4's walls are crap.
You mean 1.2?
He's saying when 1.4 comes out, that walls are gonna be crap. Alright, Cat, man. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Wee.
And Dirt Dog, to be honest, I don't think the walls are gonna be crap in 1.4 because they do take grenades, and grenades don't damage them. So I think it's gonna be super hard for people to raid a base if you got metal sheets on it. And guys, if you're watching the stream, you're new to it, make sure you guys are dropping those subs, follows, and likes. If you're watching video form, do the same. I am RazorTube on YouTube. Check me out. I am part of the Boyfriend Squad with Jade Monkey, who's currently being our builder Bob right now.
Yeah.
And he also is on YouTube, Mixer, and Twitch all at the same time. Because we crazy.
Okay, so this... it's not an L, but 3 fences here. We're doing it on the cheap. Lower walls, lower wooden wall, all with planks, nails. We've got this roped off here. The only other place you can get to on this building side is through this doorway, and this back door here, which we can lock. Did I lock it?
I was
No.
gonna say, you mind locking that?
Yes, it's where somebody comes in and goes, look at these guys! And then we're all dead. This one's nice because you can lock it. And,
That's actually,
we do have a overhang now. Just nice. You get some visibility.
Nice. And you, let's face it, you can get higher. You know?
That's nice.
I kind of want to address somebody in your chat. So CT Steel says, how do you guys fight somebody who's in a building hiding? So...
Throw a grenade in?
Exactly. At 1.4, you're going to basically throw grenades in. A build like this, typically, you know, say Jade throws up these walls, and we're kind of barricaded in. And of course, we're going to try to fit walls on the inside as well, because we're like that. If it's the 1.4 version, honestly, I'm going to try to throw grenades in the windows, man. And if not, I'm going to throw smoke grenades at the walls while I'm breaking it, and hopefully get away with murder by sneaking in, by crawling, and trying to siege that base. But it's going to be hard, man.
Just need to grab these poles. And then see if we can't slap it on top of the other gateway there so we can keep going and get this area roped off with some degree of protection. This one's not bad. It's a bit more expensive with the fences. But again, if you've got your team working together, especially if you have a vehicle, this is totally doable in the opening play. And you are next to a lot of vehicle spawns down here, or potential vehicle spawns. It's not a for sure thing, because again, it's always random. But there's a lot of potential down here. I mean, just look at this little guy. Any orange disc you see in that little miniature map are potential vehicle spawns. Olgas or Adas. Although I think they're all Olgas because Adas won't spawn this far, or this close to the shoreline. But there is another vehicle in, what is this, 104, that was added. It's the Gunter. Actually, it was added in 103, I believe. I just break it? I did.
Yeah, it's sure dirt.
Nades. Oh, yeah, throwables. Like, if you got... Okay, so loot cycling, I'm talking about the legitimate way, because there's going to be some salty boy, some high sodium diet looking mother that's going to come in
Yep.
here and be like, I
Some
can't
old school
believe...
guy. It'll be somebody old school who does it.
Yeah, and they'll be like, I can't believe this is the thing, and I can't believe you're ruining the game. You're like, relax, loot cycling is a legitimate thing. It's just looting. Like, apparently there was some exploit 3 years ago that was off that. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, when you loot cycle... I totally just lost my train of thought now. I just had a stroke.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
Yeah, it's gone now, dude. It's long gone. Woo! It's gone.
Yep.
I'll watch. I'll think of it like 2 seconds
Now,
later.
this little area that he roped off, that you guys are seeing here, little piece that he roped off, you eliminate the ability for these guys to run up the wall and drop into your base. He's basically roping off that side too as well. So the benefit about having this on your side is if they're raiding on that side of the fence, you can just run up and pop them, drop down, pop them. Or, you know, you can go up in the balcony and give them the old 1-2 with the AR.
Ooh.
It's really quiet out here.
Yeah. Although we are in that bewitching hour, which is kind of why we're doing it at this time, because we're not looking for confrontation this time, which is odd for us, because we usually are looking for dupers and clapping their booty cheeks. It's like our thing.
If you couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like this.
Yeah, this angle is kind of a happy little accident again, Bob Ross. Happy trace.
Now to kind of give you a quick overview while he's doing that, if you're just tuning in, we're just making a small little base. We roped off one little side of the cement wall, took over a complex within the wall, and we lockpicked the inside. So essentially right now this is going to be like our stronghold until we find a better either building or we get more mats and we expand out.
Yeah, and this one's a bit more pricey than some of our other little starters, but good. You know, if you found a nice little stash of plank pallets that you can clean off, then that's definitely worth it.
Oh yeah.
We'll try to walk around it too with more flashlights to give it a better once over, because I know we're it's dark.
Yeah, it's dark and time. Alright, I'm kind of watching your back. So while Jade's finishing this little wall here, I'm going to kind of do a little loop around. To make sure nobody's sneaking up on us while we're doing this.
I know, right?
Now, if you could do this with you, if you could do this with your friend, it's going to be more beneficial. I mean, you can solo this pretty easy. You could actually build cheaper than us, but you're going to want somebody to get your back at all times. Let's face it, guys, you know? I'm going to go check our little duper tent here. If,
You just don't walk in.
yeah, I know.
We've set the
And
trap.
drink the water.
We find all these duper tents and stuff. I mean, that's where we got all this stuff, clearly. But we found another one in the street before we started, and so my chat was cool enough to be like, dude, use those mines to put it in the tent. I'm like, you right?
Well, the funny thing is we found it next to the actual location that we were going to build.
Yeah, which made me a little nervous, to be honest.
Yeah.
Got that weird placement glitch thing, but that's alright. We'll get there. It's probably gonna build the stairs. Yeah. Damn it, Janet.
It is.
And that's not gonna build
That's
the lower
alright.
frame. This is a 102 glitch, by the way. It's an upper metal wall, but it should be the lower. It is jacked up.
Go building the steps.
Oh, that's for that one. Whoopsie. I mean, I
That's
guess.
alright.
Where?
Works.
They dismantle the left stairs, please.
Yeah.
I think right
I
stairs.
hate when it glitches like that.
Yeah, it's been a 102 thing, and since it feels like we've been in 102 forever. This one's kind of rough. Ah, I actually built the right stairs that time. Boo. Chicken pie. Yeah, B says I hate when it does that too. Yeah, boy. And maybe that's what you just read.
Yep, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that glitch.
It sucks. We're almost there.
And once he finishes that, that'll kind of wrap up that part of us locking down an area for a solos, duos, or group base.
I like your bush very much. Oh,
I hate
when I
putting the light
dismantled
on you
it.
only because of the silhouette.
It's all good. Need more planks. I'm hoping they're up here.
There might be some over here. Hold on.
I was hoping it was.
Huh. Dude,
I thought I brought it all down. I think I did.
I can't believe we raided those dudes again.
Which ones?
There's one specific chest that I remember seeing. I think it's... yeah, with the bottles of water and the lockpick in here. I've seen this chest right here a million times.
Yeah, for real. And it's not just here. It feels like it's freaking everywhere. Yep.
It's right here. I'm shining the light on it.
Oh, thank you. I'm just trying to finish up this last piece so we can see what it's like.
Gotcha.
And it's 3:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're hopefully get some news. So I'm gonna check the Twitter once we're done with this little piece. See what's up.
Rewind says, Razor, if the update drops today, around what time do you expect it to drop? I would assume, this is my assumption, it would be in the morning sometime. I would assume it's in the morning. You'll know it's in the morning because I will be definitely logging on and we will be streaming it for at least 24 hours straight.
It's gonna be dope. Oh, we had some metal wire, don't we? I swear I saw
I can go
one.
look for it.
Oh, I got it.
You got it? Okay.
I found it. Okay, so I'm gonna walk around with the light too, so we can see what this is all about. But again, with 104, you have to be on the interior to remove things. You can't just pop metal wire off anymore, like you could in 102. I think the barbed wire on the fences are going to be a huge deal for defenses, and they seem to be relatively difficult to find in the wilderness out there, so keep that in mind. Alright, I think we can open this now. Boom! Alright. So again, we're in Cherno. We're a little bit ways down from the PD. Let me just kind of show you. There's the clock tower. It's actually dinging right now. And then we've roped off this corner, as Razor was saying, and it's a bit expensive. What is this, 5 walls? Doing the lower portion first.
Yep.
And the only real place on this building that we need to stop or lock is going to be the front side over here. I'm going to close this door. Blub, 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 blub.
Thanks for the follow, Andrea.
Are these 2 double wooden doors here? Do you have a lockpick on your character?
Let me see.
I do, if you don't.
I actually do. Believe it or not.
Touch me. And then touch me.
There you go.
Now, to make this extra fortified, you can place a fence kit in here on the diagonal and then keep building and then make it a gate if you so desire. This goes into our courtyard
I'm
here.
gonna lock this.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I don't trust it.
And the main reason why we didn't do it even cheaper here in this corner, again, Razor said this, but it is worth noting, and it's easy to forget, these thicker walls you can walk up the side, so if we don't block it on the outside, people will just walk up and drop in on us.
Mm-hmm.
As we get more pieces, we will flush out more of the walls, but you can't stop anybody if the walls aren't up, so...
And I mean, let's face it, when we blocked off this part of the wall here, we essentially made the ramp usable for us, you know? So we have the ability to move on the wall. People are on the outside.
And our white building that's on the corner here, one of the benefits are these multi-layered, or these multi-tiered balconies. There's Razor down there. What's up, baby?
Yep.
And then I'll go up one more.
And remember, this can be a solo, duo, or group base, depending on how you want to do it. And it can be pretty low key, especially being in a freshy spawn. And let's face it, like Jade said, and I'm going to piggyback off of his knowledge with the map, you have a lot of car spawns, so the ability to loot the city, hit up the important spawns of PD and other things, and have the car spawns available to you in a close proximity is a pretty great thing. Now, you could eventually probably build towards that other building and make a gate and kind of rope off a car, but for this video's purpose, this is definitely just going to be like a stronghold for us. So yeah, that's the base. We roped off.
So hard to see at night.